Starting my career in 2018. I go into some details about how you can start planning for a new career in 2018. Roll it. Alright guys, so 2018 came and went and people set goals. This whole series is about what have you done? It's March, and what can we do to really elevate ourselves in the right direction? You know, we're going into the third of the way of this year. We're quarter through right now, but you know, the question is, what can we do to really elevate ourselves? And the last few videos I went through different ideas of how to get moving in that right direction. This video is all about careers, and you know, have you set your goals on what you want to do by the end of this year, career-wise? Do you want to move up in the company? Do you want to change companies? Do you want to get a different new career altogether? Do you want to start a career in a small business venture that will take your skill sets from that corporation into a small business into something larger? Do you want to just be a specialist in your area? These are all questions we had to ask ourselves at the beginning of January and start working through, and right now you should have been somewhere in that road where you could be able to answer that question really quickly. I've done this, this, and this. I've gotten this far. I need to get up here. How do I get to the rest of the way? So if you haven't done all that, or you are just realizing, you know, screw this, I really want to change. How do I change? Very simple. Let's go back to the drawing board and really look at everything that we want to do. And if you're stuck from a perspective of you don't know what to do, then simply write down everything you don't want to do. This is a great starting point. I can't remember who said it first, but it's great. Write down everything you don't want to be doing and jot it down so that you don't look at it. And then you want to look at everything from that point, that every idea that comes into your head, now you can reflect back on the list you made that you don't want to be doing and really ask yourself, you know, where does it fall and how much of a tolerance can you have for it? How close is it to what you want to be doing? Now, if you really know what you want to do, but you don't know how to start, the question then begs, how do I do it in 2018? Well, really important here. Tip number one, go on LinkedIn. You go on LinkedIn and you search the things that you want to be doing. So what I want you to do is really ask yourself, what title do I want to have? What are, from those things that I talked about, you know, those lists, what is it that I really want to do? And you're gonna go search this and find people who are doing it. And on LinkedIn, what's great about it, I do this all the time. I find people who are doing the stuff I want to be doing, and I make a list of them. I research them. I understand what they're doing. I understand how they're doing it. I really go into detail with this. And you don't need to go in that much detail, but it's good if you do. And basically, I researched the hell out of them to figure out how they got there. There's a specific reason I do this for. Tip number two, I'm gonna go and message those people. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I talk to you? Can I meet you for a coffee? Can I, interest you in a quick conversation? I love your profile. I love what you're doing. I'm in a similar place. I want to know a little bit more about how you did it. Very simple. And once you do that, you will have about 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 people will respond and they'll be like, hey, no problem. When are you free? Or they're gonna be like, I'm really busy right now. Catch me in 3 months. You may not see them. However, you will get people who want to help. Now we take it from this perspective and we say to ourselves, hey, I'm gonna reach out to at least 10, 15 people who are doing the thing I want to be doing. What will happen with this? Well, you're starting fresh in a new career and you really wanna be there. They'll walk you through the things they did. Now, knowing their history, you're able to then really ask specific questions. Like, when I'm talking to people on project management, I really wanna do a construction project again, and they're doing some awesome projects on the other end of the world. Now I can sit there and be like, hey, you did all these other jobs. Did those help you get there? Should I be doing a similar path? Or what path would you suggest? Let's be specific with this. You're actually going in there and interviewing them. You're interviewing them to grab as much knowledge as you can get. I'm not saying badger them and really kill them on the first phone call. I'm saying start a relationship with them. Get moving in building relationships that are online, that are away from you. I have project management friends all over the world, and if I wanted to go work in a project somewhere in the Middle East or in Asia or in Europe or down south, I could just hit one of these guys up and be like, hey, listen, I really want to get out of Canada right now and work on something for 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months. What do you have? How do I do it? What steps should I take? What do you think would be best for all the stuff that I'm doing? Why? Because I've built this relationship with them, and they actually will sit down and talk about the weirdest things, and sometimes we'll talk about what we're doing and where we're headed, and sometimes we ask each other for advice. And what's interesting, when I started doing project management, some of these guys were like 20 years into it. 5 years later, they're asking me for advice, and they're 25 years into it, and they're going, hey Nico, I got this issue, what do you think I should do? And I know what you're thinking, because that's how I felt the first time it happened to me. Granted, somebody in construction isn't going to ask me that specific question, but usually it's on communication and how they should communicate with a team of 50 people, and when they have 5 bad apples, what should they do and how should they move forward with that. It's more of my specialty on dealing with people. I love that area, I love that topic, and it's moving forward through the trials to figure out what's best for that current situation. I love doing that. Now, these relationships formed, and without getting too much off topic, if you can create these relationships over the next 6 months and start really focusing on where you want to be, now we can start looking at, what schooling do you need? What designation do you need? Which people do you need to meet? They will start bringing up more and more ideas as you build these relationships. Out of the 15, 20 people you message, 3, 4 people is the goal to have that are go-tos as mentors, as people you can relate to, as people you can call up and be like, hey, can I talk to you for 10 minutes? I have this idea, or hey, 10-minute call, I just need to run something by you. And all of a sudden, you'll have not only mentors, you'll have great friends, lifelong friends, because I can tell you some of these guys I've met doing this, unbelievable. Just friends that I know that if I fly out there, they're gonna be like, stay here as long as you want, set yourself up. And that says a lot about the ability to go online and meet people, grow great relationships, and get the advice you need to move into a different career through 2018, 2019, 2020. Lastly, before I let you guys go, the idea here is that you have several different places you could be with a new career, with a change in your career, with a new elevation in your career, or something specific in a different industry. And you can go out and really do this with 50, 100 people. It's the time you want to commit a personal level. And what you can do with this now is say to yourself, listen, what I want to do is make sure that I'm picking the right thing. So if there's 5 different things, find 10, 15 people in those 5 different things, and it will really bring it down, because one thing will happen, that list of you didn't want to do, well, you're either going to confirm it, or you might find something that you really love that you didn't know. And it could be one conversation that changes your future. And this is where I'm gonna leave it at, because at the end of the day, until you try this, you won't know how amazing it is. I can tell you this, when I got into project management, it wasn't because I knew about it and I wanted to be a project manager. It was because I met somebody who told me if I didn't have the project management, I wouldn't get this contract. And I was like, well, that's a lot of money for that contract. I was planning on doing my MBA. And he was like, well, you go do your PMP, idiot. And I was like, I don't even know what it is. I went and researched it, and then I started working towards it so I can land this one contract. So all of a sudden I started growing in a different direction. And if you would have asked me, I'd be doing all these different projects over the years, and I've done all this awesome stuff. I wouldn't have told you I would have done that, because I didn't even realize my capabilities of being in that environment. A, B, I didn't even know if I was gonna like it. C, I didn't understand fully how the world worked until I met all these people that brought me into the right direction. This is Nikos Rentas, mentorsapproach.com. Hit subscribe, more videos coming. Please let me know what you think. Let me know what specific things you want to change in your career this year, what direction you want to go to in the next few years. Let me know what kind of things you want me to continue talking about. Again, mentorsapproach.com. Hit like, subscribe, and see you tomorrow.